Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. This box just arrived on my front porch. My 2018 InkWELL Press COIL free Flex Planner is in here. And I wanted to do an unboxing with you guys for this video because I just thought it would be exciting for you guys to hear my first reactions. I have not seen it. All I did was cut the tape on the box. That is it. That's all I've done. So let's get in here. Okay, I knew they were going to have some new things this year because she showed this on her Instagram, the InkWELL Press Family Welcome Guide. So this is new this year. So it's a note from Tanya. And then it tells you about some InkWELL Press resources like her Productivity Paradox podcast, which I really enjoy. Her free online community group, which I have not joined yet. I've kind of had it on my list to check out, but I've been so busy. I just haven't. Her blog, and then, which, if I remember, hasn't had a post in a long time, but I could be remembering wrong. The setup video series, which you get when you buy one of her planners, even if you buy one from Office Max, there's instructions on the front of how to get that, and her online courses. So she has all that. She talks about the InkWELL Press core values, the InkWELL Press mission. She tells you about her new daily planner, her meal planners, her organizational notepads, and her new sewn journals. So she's just going over some of the new products for 2018 and how if you sign up, you can refer a friend and receive a reward from that. And your friend also gets $10 off. I have that down in my description box. If it is only your first InkWELL Press purchase, and it has to be $50 or more, but you could have bought one at Office Max, Office Depot, as long as you haven't bought from her site before. So I believe that's how it works. Unless you've registered your email with her, but I don't think, yeah, I think you have to have not bought from her site only. And that link is down in my description box if you want $10 off your first order. Okay, let's get into this because I am really excited. So you can see how it's packaged. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the box so we won't have so much noise and move the box. So these came free. I did not order these. So it's just something they obviously threw in with a random act of kindness sticker. I love that. And it says, feel free to keep the movement going. So it is her letterpress little cards, which you can write notes on and send to anyone that you want to. It's her little letterpress cards. And so I guess in their launch day orders, they might have thrown these, which you can buy on her site. And they're blank on the back, so you can write a little note or stick these in for anywhere, anyone. But they sent a whole package. I guess I'm guessing everyone on launch day got these. They're cute. They're really thick. Really feel really nice. Really nice letterpress cards. Sorry guys, it might be annoying with my hand shaking showing you these and the way that they're sticking together. But I just wanted to flip through them all. I love all those. I'm going to have to definitely think of ways to use them. Okay, then their InkWELL Press feather sticker, which I love getting with every order because I've lost some of these, but I like to keep them because I like to stick them in like the front of my Leuchtturm journal or the front of my planner because they just look cool and I like them. And then she sends one of these with every order and everyone gets a different one. I forget how many she said they have, like 10 maybe. It's on her Instagram. She showed them one day. Look on the bright side. It feels better. That's the one I got. It's an inkling. Yeah, that's what they call it. I forgot. So there's like different inklings and different ones can come with your order. I ordered the new sewn journals, one of each, so I could see each design and decide which one I like better. Oh my goodness, I don't know which one I like better. They are all really beautiful. Okay, later in the video, I will open all these. I don't want to make all the noise. I'll open them and we will review these journals later in the video. I just want to show everything really quick right here at the first. And in here is not the exciting thing, you guys. This is her spiral journal from last year. I liked mine so much, I ordered one more. She hasn't come out with new patterns. I don't know when she's going to or if it's going to be a product that's in one of the stores, Office Depot or her new store that she has not announced yet. So I just wanted to get one more of those. Here is the exciting, and it's really cute with this cute sticker. Your beautiful life awaits. I already started ripping into it, but there you go. I can't really open this without ripping the sticker, but I wanted to. Well, I guess I could have been more careful. Ooh, okay. This is my first look at the bound book. Now we don't need this up so much, so let's go down. Okay. Wow. It has a really distinctive texture. It's very textured. The sun just went behind the clouds, so I'm not sure. Later in the video when I review it, I will show it again. It is very textured. It feels nice in the hand. And this is what she talked about, it being sewn. And that you could even, well, you can't take the cover all the way off, but how even the side looks pretty because it's sewn. And this is where you can stick papers because there's no folder in here, and then fold it back over. So we will go into all the details of this in this video. I just wanted to do a first unboxing at the beginning, and it lays completely flat, completely more flat than any bound book because of the sewing process and any bound planner that I have. So we will see how it holds up. Wow, it lays really flat. I mean, it just falls open. And all her new colors I will get into for sure. I will be doing this video later when it's a little bit brighter. But so I will come back and we will get into this planner. This is my initial reaction. My initial reaction is it feels so much smaller than the coiled she calls bound, which confuses me now because I would call this a bound book, but she calls their coiled book bound. So this just feels, wow, so much smaller, and you're taking away that coil. My first impression is I really hope next year they find a way to add tabs. I know that that would have to bring the cover out a little bit, and I really think that I would like a hard bound cover on this. So tabs and a hard bound cover, because if you're trying to write on your lap or like out in the car, we'll talk more about this. This could be problematic unless you have a hard table surface to write on. This will be hard, but yeah, I am very excited. It's her same 140 GSM paper. And let's just look at one of her dashboards. Let's look at one of the dashboards with the new colors. So that's one of the color schemes. That's not my favorite one. I still do wish she would go to a little bit more saturated and brighter. And I think that's like this. Like, I love that. So I think this might be my favorite color scheme of this year because it's just more saturated, the colors, and a little bit brighter. Let's see what this month's color looks like. So it's 4 color schemes if you don't know, and it rotates through the year. So you don't have to choose any color scheme. All right, guys, we will get all through this and get all into the details. I am glad you're joining me today because I am so excited that my InkWELL press, coil free, came yesterday, was delivered on my porch, and I'm really excited to get a review out for you guys. So this video is just going to be going over this planner. I'm going to do a separate video comparing it to the coil bound InkWELL planner. I'm going to do a separate video because I think this one will just get way too long. So today in this video, we are just going over this bound planner and what I think about it. And next, I will do a video comparing it, a separate video, to the coil bound InkWELL. All right. Okay, so I raised my tripod up here a little bit at the beginning because I wanted to show you the construction of this book. It definitely just feels smaller and more compact because you don't have a hard cover on each side, okay, and you don't have the pocket inside. So it's just taking away some of the width. It feels compact. And it is also taking away some for the coil, of course, here on the side. It just feels really compact and easy to carry to me. I like the texture in the cover. However, if I had to choose, it's a really pretty cover. I like it. It's simplistic. I wish she would have offered one of these with at least one of the designs that came on her coil bound planners, because I do think some of those designs are really pretty, and I would have liked to see just one design option, not just only plain covers in this coil free version. That's just my opinion. And I realize this is only their first year coming out with the coil free, and I think they've done a stellar job for their first year. I do see things I would like changed for next year, just in the one day I've had it, and I have started to write in some appointments and things. We'll go over that. So I have started to play with it and planning in it. And so I will tell you how I feel about that. My cover, as you can tell, is kind of already bending up, like right there, which doesn't bother me. It's not a big deal. And it's kind of already bent here. Not sure if that was something I did or if it came like that, but I'm not sure how this cover will hold up if it was like thrown in a bag or a backpack every day. For me, it will probably be fine since mine stays at home 90% of the time. But that is something to think about if you are throwing your planner in a work bag every day, or you're a student and you're throwing it in a backpack every day. Number one, I feel like you need some kind of a band to keep it shut if you want to protect the pages, if you're doing that. And number two, I feel like, I don't know how the cover will hold up. You'll have to see, because it feels very durable, like a thick placemat like material. Very durable cardstock with, seems like water repellent coating and stuff on it, but I don't know how it's going to hold up. I want to show you how this was made. And so I'm not sure why they did this way, but the planner is made where you can open it here, and you've seen Tanya show this, and she shows you how it's sewn on the side. And so we'll see how that binding holds up this year. But they were sewn into different groups and then all sewn together basically. And then this clear coating is put over it. And then this is just a thinner cardstock, much thinner. Okay, so you can open it to here, and then she's saying this is where you can store, like, let me see if I have something. I have her little card that came with it. She's saying you can store folded up pieces of paper, in here, because there is no pocket on here this year, which I really think they need to add a pocket for next year. And she's saying that's where you could store folded up pieces of paper when it's stuck in there. She's saying, it should be pretty safe and stay in there. I'm shaking it to see if it will come out. So we'll leave that in there while we're reviewing. But so you would have to undo this, pull that, and get your thing out of your pocket. But if you needed to carry one or two pieces of paper folded up or a card, hopefully that would stay in there. But you cannot remove the cover fully. Okay, this is something I was confused on until I got it. You cannot remove the cover fully. It is attached right here. Okay, at the back. It is attached. This is where it's attached. So you can never remove that. You can, unaccordion it like this, but you can never remove that off the back. I have to say, at this point, I'm not a huge fan of the way that this cover is designed, but we will see as I use it. Right now, I'm wishing this was a hardbound. I'm wishing this was a hardbound coil free. A bound book. Similar to like my Emily Lay 2017 Navy weekly planner that you guys have seen. I wish this was a hard book like that. So that I wish it had a ribbon marker, and you could also put a pocket in the back there with that type of book, and it would just seem way more stable, because when you're writing on this and it's open, you need to be on a hard surface. You have to be on a hard surface, because you see how there's no hard cover there to support it. So it would be very hard to just be writing on your lap or be in the car or be writing on the go, especially if you're writing on the left side here. Now, even when you're folding, let's say you get to the middle of the book, okay? It does lay completely flat. Okay, this is their design, but other bound planners that I have reviewed lay flat enough. The design is, different with a hardback cover, but they lay flat, well enough. The cover is just different, so the sides don't meet in exactly like that. But this one lays completely flat. I would say as long as you have a hard surface to write on, you're great. And I love not having the coil when you're writing and getting in your way. I love that. This is the only place I'm storing my little sticky notes. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I store sticky notes at the front of each one of my planners. And I put some more here to test which spot is better. These Post-its are almost white, so I love that I found them. It came in a 3-pack of pink, this light blue, and then this almost white. Guys know I use them all over and on my big wall calendar from InkWELL also. And so I wish they sold a whole white pack in I think it's 1.5 by 2 inches Post-its. Yeah, because I like to use the full size on my InkWELL desktop wall calendar, and then I like to use them cut into thirds for my planner for different events that I'm not sure. I'm going to see if I can find where I placed one. See how I place them? I'm not sure those events are positive yet for like UIL for my son. So we're just sticking them in there with the stickies. That's how I like to use them. Okay, so we've kind of gone over, I do wish there was a hardcover. I do wish there was a ribbon. I do wish there was a pocket. And I do wish there was tabs. And this card that I just stuck in there, just in doing that, just came to the top here. So that could be annoying. And like I said, it's only their first year doing this book. I love InkWELL, and I am not trying to, slam on them in any way. I love InkWELL, and I'm sure I'm still going to love this book. These are just improvements that I would like to see made for next year. She said they didn't want to have the tabs because, the cover would have to come out a little bit further to compensate for the tabs. But I would love a hardbound cover that came out a teeny bit further to compensate for monthly tabs. These are things I'm seeing after only having it for a day. So of course I will update you guys as 2018 comes and I'm actually using it. Okay, let's go through this for people who have not seen InkWELL before. Now that we've gone all kind of into the bound book, Tanya writes you a letter. She is the owner and creator of InkWELL Press. And then there is a way to get your setup videos if they're not sent to your inbox. She gives you setup videos from herself, which are very helpful. I think have some great tips, especially if you've never used one of her planners. Then you can write your personal information in here. And you know what? I'm going to lower this a little bit since we're all done with all the showing how the cover works. We can be in closer so you guys can see the page better. Okay. All right. So first you have your important dates laid out. You can use this for so many things. Of course, it's just labeled with the 12 months of the year. January through June is the top row. July through December is the bottom row. I tend to not use these for birthdays and anniversaries or something like that. And I have used them before for like big events and happenings, like just so I could see how much is cramming into 1 month. Like I've used them so you can put like what days are off school that month, when you're taking a vacation, when you have dentist appointments or whatever. So that way I can just have a quick glance at a month and see like, wow, okay, that month has filled up. So I've used it that way before. And most recently I've also used it for our big bills that only come, every 3 months or twice a year, or even the bills that come once a year. Like our HOA comes twice a year. Our, what else? Our car insurance comes twice a year. Our life insurance comes once a year. There's more. I just can't think of it right now. So those bills that don't come every month, I like to see them laid out on here, and it kind of, it alerts me to which months, we're going to have to pay those bills in. I know Dave Ramsey people like to do that type of thing, and I think it's called sinking funds, but I could be wrong because I haven't done his program, but I have watched some of his videos on YouTube. Okay, then you have your goals page, which is very similar to the 2017. It is just new colors. She always puts colors in here that go with the color scheme of the planner for that year. If you're not familiar with InkWELL Press, they have 4 color schemes per year, and I will show you in here, and the months just rotate through those 4 color schemes. So you don't have to pick a color scheme for the inside. There are no choices to pick for colors for the inside. Every planner, whether it is her Flex, which is her horizontal, or her Classic, which is her vertical, comes with these same 4 color schemes. Same with her quarterly planners, which are Flex also. Okay, so you have personal, social, financial, health, home, dream big. And these colors that they're written in coordinate to these colors for your 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month check-in on these goals. You have room for a 2018 mission, and she talks all about this and her suggestions for using it in her setup videos. And there's a little bit of instructions right there. I just love the look of the planners from InkWELL Press. They are so classic, so clean, so yeah, classy. Then you have your year at a glance, 2018 right here, which is always necessary. And she has her quote of the year. She picks a different one for every year. This one is Forever is Composed of Nows by Emily Dickinson. All right. Then you go right into January, and there's no tabs in this planner. Now, I will say, since every month changes colors, I mean, you can kind of flip through, but it goes through the 4 color schemes. So I started by just planning a little bit because I wanted to play with it. Number 1, I do love writing in here without the COIL. Love that, and just love how there is no big COIL break in the middle. I love her new fonts this year up here on these days of the week. I am a big fan of this new font for the days of the week. Let me show that up close. I really like that new font. Then you have your top 5 up here for every month. Then you have your notes lines, which go all the way to the bottom where you have your next month's view right there. I use some ERIN CONDREN stickers. So the boxes are the exact same width as ERIN CONDREN, so her stickers will actually work in here. I just wanted to test that. This color happens to match January, but there's not a color from ERIN CONDREN that matches every month of InkWELL. But I happen to like to use those sometimes, so I wanted to play with those and test them. Okay, so January, this is the January color scheme, and I can't remember the name of each of 4 color schemes. For those who are not familiar with InkWELL, after the monthly view, you come to that month's 2-page spread, which is a mission board and a plan and focus page with a daily habit tracker. So let's just talk a little bit about it for people who aren't familiar with InkWELL Press. Her mission board gives you all these beautiful hexagons in that month's color. And she gives you suggestions like health, home, me time, financial, be social, dream big, and then some blank ones. And basically, you can use them for anything you want. You don't have to go with her little headings, and that's why I like that they're written so small, because they can prompt you if you want promptings, if you want some direction, but they're written very small. So if you really don't, want prompting, then I have just ignored those before because I really like this mission board, and I just write in whatever I need to for that month there. And you will notice when I picked up my book, it came out of the cover right away. And that is a problem that I've noticed. So it's like every time you pick up your book, I feel like the book jacket's coming off. Now, it will never fall off because it's connected at the back, but to me, that's just kind of an annoyance. I might end up sticking a paper clip there. I don't know, I haven't played with it too much to see how that will work, but I do want to mention that. Okay, so I love her mission board and her plan and focus page. If you've watched any of my other InkWELL videos on my 2017 InkWELLs, you know that I always say this is the most functional goal setting monthly planning page that I have ever seen in any planner. For me, for my personality, this layout works better for me than any other monthly page in any other planner. I actually utilize this entire thing and I love it. So the plan usually just becomes a list for my month. This usually kind of maybe becomes another list or a focus. I do write in over here like when we got to see my parents that month, like what was the date and what we did, because we try to get together with them once a month. When we saw my husband's dad that month, when we went over there for Sunday dinner, and just keep details like that. And things like, did we go on a date that month and what did we do? Those are the kind of things I keep track of over here. I do keep track of some health stuff over here too. I love her daily habit trackers. You can see the month at a glance how you are doing in any daily habit. So you can track 3 habits a month. So like, for example, the gym, which I use one of these for. You can color it in, check it off, or I like to even write in it like 5K if I did a 5K that day, or E for elliptical if that's what I did that day. Or if I only did weights that day, a W. So I like to keep track of it that way. And I love, because at the end of the month, you have a real visual of how you did on whatever particular habit you are tracking. Okay, then you go straight into your month of January. This year, she has changed the flex. Her days of the week used to just be one big letter, like an F for Friday, and it used to be right here. If you wanted to see her 2017, I have videos on all her 2017 planners on my channel. But I love how she moved the day of the week to the top, because this made the lines go in a curved portion in her 2017. Even though I said I wasn't going to do a comparison, I will show you guys that really quick. Because for people who haven't seen it, what I'm explaining could be confusing. So here was her 2017, and the lines had to curve around that letter. And I never liked that flow for me, and I just didn't think the letter looked super classy. I didn't love it. I love this. I love how she changed it. I honestly am probably not a super scripty, curvy font person. I would probably prefer the font that's up here in her monthly view to be on the daily view, just because that's my personality type. But besides just my personality type, I love her change, because she has cleared the whole day, and the date is written in the coordinating color for the month, which I love, right below it, all those details. And like your weekly focus down here with 5 little hexagons marking it, and your notes is written in also that same color for the month. I love those little details that make it just feels like they've thought of every detail. Okay, each holiday, like this is New Year's Day, is marked with little words right there. So it doesn't take up much room on your day, but you are alerted that it's a holiday. I like that. I love that InkWELL Press uses all their page real estate. They really use the page real estate better than any other planner, I think, any other weekly planner that I have used personally. Well, Passion Planner uses the page real estate pretty well, but lots of people just waste a lot of room at the top, bottom, or sides on headers or blank space. I actually love how they don't have big headers or blank space, because it makes these weekly horizontal boxes have much more room for you to write in. Okay, this is called the Flex. It's their horizontal. The Classic is her vertical. And the Classic was available in limited quantities in certain covers for launch day. I don't know if there's any left. Other than that, when those are gone from her launch day quantities, you have to go to Office Max, Office Depot to get those. I am about to go check out if those are out at my Office Max, Office Depot. I called mine today, and he said that they were or should be out. He didn't sound like so confident, like he even knew what I was talking about. So I will go in and see in mine. I have seen some other people on Instagram get theirs, so they're obviously putting them out early because they weren't supposed to come out till October. Okay, so what we have here is her Flex is just a big horizontal space and 3 boxes. I love that. I would love the Classic too if the 3 boxes were at the top of the Classic. I talk all about that in my Classic review from last year of InkWELL. I like to use my 3 boxes for my appointments or my go-tos for the day. So my big things that rule my day. Because in case you don't watch any of my other videos, I am a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool one of my children and one is in public school. And so the way my day is ruled is by if we have any appointments or anywhere I have to go that day, a mandatory errand or appointments. And so if we don't have that, then my day is not ruled by that. And all it's ruled by is, you know, public school drop off and pickup time. And so then I can know that really easily by seeing my 3 boxes. And then this just becomes my to-do list. Okay, something to show you if you don't know this about InkWELL. Let's show you this down here. There is a tiny dot down here at the bottom. And then, see, my cover came loose again. There is a tiny dot right there at the top. And you can use a ruler to connect these 2 dots. And you can divide this horizontal box into 2. And that's on every single page, those little dots to help guide you. So you can make a straight line. Whether you're using washi tape to divide it or just draw with a line. In my planner, I drew with a line. Part of the time that I used it. See my line drawn last year? And some people like to divide those boxes to have like work and home on the days they work. And she pointed out, you know, they might not work every day. And so some days you might leave it undivided because, you know, you might divide it work and home on the days you go into work. On the days you don't work, it might just be, you know, all home. So that is a really cool option because you can divide it. One could be, you know, you can use it so many ways dividing it. It could be, you know, your top 3 must-dos of the day on one side and then just your list of the rest of the stuff if you can get to it on the other side. So there's a lot of ways you can use it. There's a lot of ways you can use these 3 boxes. Many people use them for like fitness, water tracking, dinner. Those are just some other ways I've seen them used. Weather. There's just a lot of ways. I love these boxes. Okay, so January is this purple. And what I'm going to do now is flip to each month, and I will speed it up just to show you the color scheme for each month. Oh, okay, when a month ends, let's talk about this first. You get a notes and ramblings page in a dot grid in between months. So you have that one notes and ramblings page in between months. Then your next month starts. Here's our February color. And actually, I think the February color might be my favorite in this year's 4 color schemes, just because it's so rich and it's just a little bit darker. And I think I got really tired of just the muted colors last year. That's kind of what made me switch out of InkWELL, I think. Because it was working for me really well, other than I think the colors got blah to me. So I love this darker, richer color. Okay, and we haven't even touched on the paper. Before I forget, for those that don't know with InkWELL, they have the best planner paper that I have ever used. It's 140 GSM. So the new ERIN CONDREN paper from this year is 118, 120 GSM. So this is, and it has a completely different feel than the ERIN CONDREN paper. You do not see anything through this paper. I have a new pen test video coming up soon, and I tested all my InkWELL 140 paper. So you'll be able to see that. If you go watch my other InkWELL videos, I talk about how I even checked off every day with a big black Sharpie, and you can barely even see it. So you can almost write on it with a Sharpie. No other pen shows through except for a big Sharpie marker, and that's like barely ghosting. So this paper is the most luxurious, most enjoyable planner paper to write on, in my opinion. It's also the thickest planner paper out there that I have tried of any planner. Now, their quarterly books only come in 120 because they're sewn in smaller books, so they can't put the 140 GSM paper in the quarterly books. And the sewn journals are only 120 also. But that paper is still really good, and no, you don't have any ghosting problems. But it's just not quite this thick and luxurious. So her paper is the #1 thing I love about InkWELL. The #2 thing I love about InkWELL is her mission board and her plan and focus and daily habit tracker page. And my next favorite thing is my 3 boxes. And then I just love how it's all just so classy. All right. So then you go into your next month, and I am just going to flip through and I will speed this up so we can see all the color schemes for the year. Okay, you guys have seen how it rotates through the 4 color schemes and what color each month is. You can also see how it kind of goes in an ombre. Your boxes are not completely all one color, so they go in an ombre, which I like. That's a nice effect. I do like her color scheme, and she picked them based on the ocean and memories and things, and she explained all that during launch, and I love that. But you guys know me, I'm a seasonal color person if you have listened to any of my other videos, and I would probably prefer it if they kind of flowed with the seasons. But that's just something that I'll probably always say. Okay, then you have a Notes and Ramblings after December. Then you have your gift list, which I love this, and I have not utilized it enough, and I really plan to utilize this in 2018 because I know it can help me. So you write shopping for, ideas, item purchased, and money spent. Also, I just think besides helping me plan ahead, and when I think of something, you know, I don't have to go, oh, I forgot, what did I think of that I should get for them? You know, it's written down, but by the end of the year, I think it would be a really cool thing to have also just a record of that and how much you spent on everyone's gifts. Ideas for me, that's a nice place to jot down things you think of for you that you would like for gifts. So if your spouse or someone asks you, you have it jotted down. Then they have 2 pages devoted to travel. It basically gives you room for 3 trips, and each box just has room to write the date, where you're going, how many nights you're staying, your airline info, your car rental info, and your accommodation hotel info. So it's just 3 trips worth to plan. And she tells you here you can download free packing lists at inkwellpress.com/downloads. There's actually a lot of free downloads at inkwellpress.com, like some of the other planner companies, so you can check that out. This is a brand new page to 2018, a page that was requested. That is something I absolutely love about InkWELL. They actually really care about what their customers want. They survey their customers, I don't remember when during the year, when they're starting to really lock in and work on the design for the next year. And they asked very specific questions. And one thing people said in their survey that they wanted was a project planning page. So they gave you a project planning page with enough room for 2 projects. So there's one at the top and one at the bottom of the page. So you have room for a project name, brainstorming, you have a budget, you have your tasks to check off, and your due dates. And then you have this start-finish line, your timeline. So you can kind of chart it on there by month or by days. So I think that's a really cool thing to have added in there. I think it's a great feature. Something they've always had in their planners, but they've changed just a teeny bit, is this monthly bill tracker, which I think is really helpful. Now, they used to have like a light bulb here, a water faucet here, and I think they had a phone here, and then they left the rest blank. But this year they're leaving them all blank, which I think is really smart. So you can fill in whatever you want. Like I know I have our water and our electricity set up to auto pay, but I actually want to start keeping track of how much they are every month, because that's how we found a water leak that was in our main line under our driveway one year. Just by a slight, jump up in a water bill that wasn't normal. That's how we found that, and it could have gone on a lot longer. And so I want to keep track. I mean, for water bill, that's important. But just for electricity, I think it's going to be interesting to just look at the whole year here in a row and to see how our electricity is every month, how the cost goes. So I definitely am going to utilize this year for water and electricity only. I probably don't need to use it for anything else because I have a little bill notebook and a system that I've been using for years and years, you know, of paying all the online bills and what's not auto paid. And so, but I definitely want to use this for water and electricity because I would love to see the cost of that each month laid out for the year. After that monthly bill tracker, you get her pages, which I love, her graph paper. And in the top left, you get a little date and subject. And then there's nothing on the right side. So these are also the same kind of pages that come in her COIL journal and her sewn journal. And I will show you guys the sewn journals at the end right here. So you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those pages, you know, 6, so front and back, like 12. And then you get this very cool new edition. Well, she always puts the next year, so you get the next year at a glance. But this year she has added these lines between each month underneath, which is genius and a great addition. So that when you're making an appointment in April of 2019 and you don't have your April calendar yet, you know, you don't have your 2019 calendar, you can write in your doctor, dentist appointments right there. And then when you get your calendar, it's all right here to transfer to your calendar. I love that. I love how she added the lines. I think that's very important. Love the classy look of it. And so it ends here. The planner doesn't open at the back like I showed you here because that is where it's attached. So it ends. So overall, I love this bound book other than the fact that this keeps coming open. And I don't know how well that paper is going to stay in there if you place papers because my little card hasn't stayed really well. So this flap, I'm definitely going to see what I can do to probably make it stay shut and stay on my planner because I don't want every time I pick up my planner, just like that, for the flap to come off. But other than that, I'm definitely glad I got the COIL free. I definitely want to try it out for a year, and I want to, you know, report to you guys as it goes along and tell you how I'm liking it. Now, some people who kept up with me, somebody already asked on Instagram, well, I thought you were using ERIN CONDREN for 2018. You're so excited about it, and you got it. And I did get it in the vertical colorful, and I've already filled in my whole year big things. Here's the thing. I'm a planner person. So this is my plan. I'm going to use both of these for 2018. I'm going to rotate because I really love both equally. They're both very different, but I love both equally, and I actually want to try out ERIN CONDREN. I have not ever planned a year in her planner, so I really want to try it out, and I really also want to try this one out. And so, you know, I'll just start with whichever one I feel like, and then I'll use it for however long I feel like it, and then I'll switch to the other one when I feel inclined, and, you know, switch back and forth whenever I feel inclined. And I'm sure that I will come up with a favorite by doing that. So these are the two main planners that I will try planning in for 2018. Those are my plans right now. And, oh yeah, I wanted to show you the journals really fast because some people might want to see these designs. Okay, so I got her 3 new journals. You guys, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I have her sewn journals from last year. And I'm absolutely in love with them, and I use them so many different ways. You can check out my videos under my journals playlist for those and to find out how I use mine because I have whole videos on that. And this year, the only thing they changed was they increased the size a little bit, probably by about that much, to make it an A5 size because people wanted it to be the same size as their quarterly books from InkWELL, and also because you can fit it in traveler's notebooks and other things like that. So just having them all be the A5 size opens up a whole bunch of doors. And I love them being this size. I mean, I haven't started writing in this year's yet, but I think I'm going to love the extra room, and I just think it's smart to make it the A5 size. It still fits in the back accordion pocket of your InkWELL Press COIL planner. Where's mine? If you have bought the COIL planner this year, where's my pocket? And you have the accordion pocket. They made this pocket, and it fit their sewn journals last year, and it fits them still this year. And so, yeah, it works perfect in there. I love that you can do that. And they're a little bit thinner than last year, and I actually think that's good for going in the pocket and carrying it around. These are beautiful sewn journals. They're 120 GSM paper, They are all the same graph grid, and then on the upper left side you have that little box label at the top of the left page, and there are no page numbers and there is no like index, but here's what like the inside of the book looks. It makes a beautiful gift. And so here are her 3 new covers. I had to get one of each, and I honestly love them all. They're all beautiful. They did a stellar job on their cover design this year. And the back looks like that. So this isn't the next cover. I honestly don't know that I could pick a favorite because I really love them all. I love how she put that color on the inside of this one. It's a fun pop on the inside. Love that. And then this beauty. I love these colors together. And I love how she put that magenta or like fuchsia pop in here too. That makes it so fun to me. So these journals are amazing for $12. I am sure I will be getting myself more to stock up on them because they are beautiful. I thought I loved her sewn journals last year, and I still do. I still have some left to fill in my stash, and I've given several as gifts over the year. If you give it with just a little pen, it's a beautiful gift. Someone can use it for a to-do list. They can use it for a journal. They can use it for a scripture journal. They can use it for notes. They can use it for simple as a grocery list and taking it to the store with you every time. Although it seems too pretty for that. But I say use your books. Use them for whatever you want. If they just sit on the shelf, then they're not bringing you joy and you're not getting to use them in your life. So don't be afraid to use them. I also ordered just one more of the COIL bound because I had some of these last year. They're a hardback COIL bound journal. She did not do new covers yet, and I don't know what the future of these books are going to be. So I wanted to get one more because I don't know like if she's going to keep them, what's going to happen. But this paper is the 140 GSM, just as thick as the big planners. And this is what your left side looks like. In this one, you have a little date, subject, and purpose, of which I never really fill out the purpose, but I like this because it gives you a hard surface to write on, and it's really nice and really functional too. So even though these are left from last year, I wanted to get one more of those. So that was my entire haul. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking with me on this long review, and I will have a separate review comparing this bound to her coiled for those of you who are trying to make a decision on that. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Have a great day.